Now presenting
the RKULTRA
expanding your minds.
whether you want it or not.
Welcome to the RKULTRA podcast. On today's special episode, we're going to take a deep dive into the darkest pits of metal, partying, and awesomeness, and talk about the man who sits on the throne of it all. You know him as the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne.
Hell yeah.
Ozzy.
I discovered Ozzy's music as a teenager. It really helped fuel my insane party rage.
Oh, yeah. And you know, his music is some of the most iconic metal ever created.
Yeah, and he had the insane antics to match, so we're going to talk about everything today. Now, if you don't know a lot about Ozzy Osbourne, let me fill you in. He was born December 3rd, 1948, as John Michael Osbourne. He got his start in music as the lead singer of Black Sabbath, and although he was eventually fired in 1979 for partying way too hard, those were some of Black Sabbath's best albums. He was eventually replaced by Ronnie James Dio, which, that rocks too. But Ozzy, his story didn't end there. He went on to have 13 successful studio albums, and he's still rocking today.
Yeah, I'm surprised because every time I hear a new Ozzy song, I'm like, this has to be the last one because, but a new one comes out, a couple months later, and I'm blown away. The quality is consistent and it stays good.
Yeah, it's surprisingly still good,
Yeah, it's almost like a breath of fresh air hearing that metal in the sea of rap and all the other music.
Oh, yeah. Like, no way, there's a new Ozzy song. He's not only is he not dead from all the partying, he's still going.
Yeah.
Wild.
A legend. Living legend, literally.
For sure. Ozzy's music is so timeless. RJ, what are some of your favorite Ozzy tunes?
Well, off the top of my head, I'd have to say Sweet Leaf, Bark at the Moon, Mr. Crowley.
Oh, man, I love that song. That basically gave Ozzy his Satanist reputation.
Yeah, well, Sweet Leaf is an innuendo for marijuana, so that's pretty cool.
RJ, would you ride that white horse?
I would ride that white horse. What are some of your favorite songs?
Well, I think N.I.B. is a great metal song for the whole family. I love his live performance for that one. It's great.
Yeah.
But also, War Pigs. Oh, that's such a great tune. I think it's one of the best metal songs ever written.
Oh, yeah. Definitely an iconic, fun to sing along song.
Generals gather in their masses,
just like witches at black masses.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Down there.
Yeah, it really goes off on that song.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Another one of my favorites is No More Tears because it has a fantastic bass line and a great message.
Yeah, stop crying like a bitch.
Yeah, not only is his music great, Ozzy creates some of the most unique controversy the world has ever seen.
Oh, I agree. It's definitely an interesting thing to look at. Like the time he bit the head off a bat live on stage. Apparently, one of the running gags he'd do is one of the members of the audience or whoever would throw a rubber bat on stage and, he'd grab it and bite its head off because it's metal, the theatrics. Apparently, one time somebody threw a live bat on stage and, he just took that bad boy and sunk his teeth right into it and just ripped its head off.
Of course, yeah. He said he knew there was something, off at the time, but he wasn't sure if it was the gag or not, and he was super fucked up, so,
Yeah, those things happen.
Yeah. Come to think of it, he's kind of a serial biter, too. He also bit the head off of a dove in front of some CBS music execs.
Why?
Well, I guess it was planned for them to release the doves, and, that was supposed to be like a sign of peace and stuff, but he was, again, super drunk, and, he thought it'd be a great metal idea just to bite the head off of one of the doves,
Yeah, I mean, I see where he's going with this.
Yeah, there's a pattern.
Except for the part where I don't. Fun fact, did you know that Ozzy was also thrown out of a concentration camp?
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, probably the only person to ever get thrown out of a concentration camp.
Yeah, well, there's also a pattern. He once got arrested when he pissed on the Alamo.
What a man.
Yeah, in his wife's dress.
What a man.
What a man.
Did you know he was also invited to the White House? where he made a fool of himself in front of President Bush.
Oh man, that would have been a great thing to see.
What a rocker, amazing story. You get to party with President Bush.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, he once threw a TV out of a hotel window.
Of course.
Yeah, you know, classic rock stuff.
Yeah. Ozzy is a very interesting being, and I'm not surprised. He's had a very colorful life.
Yeah, I mean, he did some time as a kid, you know, for theft.
Really?
Yeah, he also got a job in a slaughterhouse when he was young.
You know, that makes a lot of sense now that you say it.
Yeah, right?
Something interesting is on Volume 4 of the Black Sabbath album, they spent $15,000 more on cocaine than it took to produce the album.
That's one hell of a party trick.
So that attests to how hard they were partying back then in 1972.
Working hard, partying harder.
Yeah, it's wild. And another interesting fact is that Ozzy's only been sober for 10 years, since 2013.
That's wild. He got sober at 64.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, he at least he did it, and it's it's been 10 years. He did say that he did smoke some weed to make the last album, but
that doesn't count at this point.
We can forgive him for that.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, at 74 years old with a net worth of $220 million, he's sitting pretty happy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006.
Oh, that's cool. He also has a star on the Walk of Fame, too.
Well, he deserves it. That man is an icon.
For sure. You know, he also had a lot of commercial success as a reality TV star.
Really?
Yeah, you remember the MTV show, The Osbournes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really got us to know Ozzy Osbourne and his domestic life, you know.
Yeah.
Starred Sharon and Jack Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne. And he actually had a third daughter named Amy, but she refused to appear on the show. She didn't want any part of it. In fact, they had to blur every picture, like, in their family photos of her.
Yeah, well, fame does hold its weight. So,
yeah. I mean, the show was well known for its cursing.
Yeah.
All the bleeps. It was aired uncensored in Canada, but Ozzy actually says he likes the American version better because the bleeps make the F-bombs more apparent.
Well, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
All I can remember from the Osbourne show is that scene in Austin Powers where they're sitting on the couch.
Yeah, they're cameo in Austin Powers.
Yeah, and they comment on the rocket.
You know that show actually dealt with a lot of like their real life situations. It showed Sharon's battle with cancer and like Ozzy's ATV accident. Like
really,
yeah. But Kelly and Jack and actually I think all of them have come out to say that actually a lot of it was scripted too. You know, as most reality TV shows are at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just glad it happened. I'm glad we got a show all about Ozzy, and it's really nothing special other than just his life.
Yeah, you know, it ran for 4 seasons, and the first season was actually MTV's highest viewed show.
Really?
Yeah.
Like of all time?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And again, I don't blame them. It's Ozzy.
Yeah.
He brings in the numbers. And whether Ozzy is melting our faces off with his electric performances or just generally making us laugh and partying his ass off, we are truly lucky to exist on the same time and the same planet as Ozzy Osbourne.
Tell us some of your favorite Ozzy Osbourne moments or songs in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
You can find us at Twitter and Instagram at RKULTRAcast.
Or www.RKULTRA.com. Follow us because we'll be following you.